Hello whistlers everywhere. So today's tutorial video, I'm going to do a breakdown of a lovely tune composed by Turlough Carolan. It's a tune called Lord Inchiquin. So it's written in 3/4, so it's kind of in waltz time, even though it's not strictly a waltz, but it's what we call waltz time because it's written in 3/4. So what I'm going to do first of all is break it down into phrases because when dealing with a tune like this, it's a good idea to think of it in terms of phrasing and how we're going to phrase it. One thing that you don't want to be doing is you don't want to really be tonguing all the notes like this. So you don't want to go. It's kind of lacking the phrasing there. So what I like to do with a tune like this is go through each phrase and talk about tonguing and slurring. So with a tune like this, the phrases are sort of fairly even in terms of their structure. So if we take the first phrase, so I'll play it slowly and I'll show you what I'm doing with my tonguing. So that's the first phrase up to that high F sharp. So it starts on what we call an anacrusis or a pickup note. So when we're counting, it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then you'll come in on the third beat of the bar. Quite a few tunes will start on an anacrusis or on a pickup note. So with this one, what I'm doing, I'm tonguing the A, playing the second D. Now you can either cut the second D, you can either cut it or you can tongue it. Now I find tonguing this a little bit cleaner. So the first phrase would be so I'm going tongue, the A, slur up to the D, and then the whole of the next phrase. I'm slurring. So that again, tongue, 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 slur, 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 slur. Again. Okay, so the next section, I'm going to tongue the E, and then I'm going to slur all the way up to the high F sharp in the fourth bar. So it's going to go. So let me put those first 4 bars together in 2 slurred phrases. So okay, so the next phrase I'm going to start on the E, So that's the E of the fourth bar, and I'm going to go down all the way to the G. So it's going to go in the bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bar 7. So it's going to go. And then I'm going to tongue the B, A, G, F sharp, and E. So let's play from the beginning all the way up to that E on the last bar on the first line. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So let me break that down again. So tongue slur, and then tongue slur to the D. And then tongue and then slur. All slurred. So we're going to tongue the E. So and then put that together. Okay, so the next phrase, we're starting on the high A, so it's the last two quavers or eighth notes, and we're going to slur after tonguing the A. So all that is in one long slur. Now, I am separating the D's with tonguing here. That's the D at the end of the first bar and beginning of the second bar on the second line. So I am using tonguing for that, but you can cut it just as well. So you could go, and again. But I prefer to tongue that, so it's going to go. So that's my next phrase. And then the last phrase on the A part, we're going to tongue the first note again. And so I've gone all the way down to the D on the last bar on the second line. So let's go from the A and the G at the end of the first bar, sorry, end of the last bar on the first line, and review the phrasing that I'm using. So I tongue the A and I tongue the second D. So the first D in the second bar of the second line to get the separation of the two Ds. The rest is all slurred. So again. And this next bit is all slurred till we get to that bottom D from the E. Okay, so I'm going to put all the phrasing, tonguing and slurring together for the A part. Now, you would normally repeat the A part and repeat the B part. So the form is A, B, B. But I'll just play through it once to show you how the phrasing works. So, counting again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so that was the A part. Let's have a look at the B part now. So the B part will actually start on the last A of the A part. So that's where we're going to pick up that phrase. So again, we can separate the A in the last bar of the second line and the A in the first bar of the third line. We can either use cuts or use tonguing. And again, it's up to you which you prefer. I'll show you both ways. Or we can do this. That's one phrase. So again, it's up to you how you separate those notes. You can either use tonguing or you can use cuts, whichever you prefer. Now, the two E's, I do like to use cuts to separate those. So we've got the E, last note on the first bar of the third line, and the E next to it, the second bar. So we've got this. Again. Now, if you prefer, you can tongue it like this. Again. So again, there's no right or wrong way. If you prefer to use the cuts to separate, do that. If you prefer to tongue, then do that. It's up to you. So in terms of the phrasing, I've got a nice long phrase all the way up to the E, that long half note or minim E in the third line. So it's going to go. So it's a nice long phrase. Again, keep it smooth and legato. So at that time I use tonguing instead of cuts. So the next phrase, same thing, we're going to pick up on the D after the E, and we're going to get to the half note minim E at the end of the line. So it's going to go like this. And again, you can separate the two Ds with tonguing or with cuts, and I'll show you both ways. So here's the first way with tonguing. Now with cuts. So you can either choose to use tonguing or cuts or mix them up. You might cut one and tongue the other. Again, it's entirely up to you. But this phrasing I find works nicely for this. So for the next phrase, we're going to pick up on the D of the last bar, the very last note on the third line. And we're going to get all the way up to the D, again the half note D, on the fourth bar of the fourth line. So it's going to go. And again, it's up to you. Either tongue the notes that are the same or separate them with cuts. As I said, it's up to you how you want to do that. There's no hard and fast rules regarding that. It's whichever you prefer. So the last phrase coming up to this end of this fourth line, we're starting on the F sharp. And what I like to do on the last bar, even though it's written as a quarter note, that A on the last bar of the fourth line, I like to play it, and often many people do play it as a half note or a minim, and play the A and the G as eighth notes or quavers. So we're having that sort of continuation of phrasing, and it sounds like this. So what I did to separate those three E's, I played the first one, cut the second one, and then I did a little tap on the third, so it goes. If you want, you can tongue them. So both ways work. Again, choose whichever you prefer to use. Or so that whole phrase. Which brings us to the end of that line and the end of that phrase. So picking up, as I said, what I like to do is turn that quarter note into a half note A, a minim A, and then do quavers on A and G. So it's going to go. Again, separation of the two Ds. You can either cut it or you can tongue them. So, and again. And then the last phrase. Now the little pickup note there, A, is if when you repeat it, so it's going to go. Or you can, like the other time, you can cut it. Up to you, however you want to do it. So let's have a look at the second part now, the B part, with the phrasing. So I'll use the pickup note from the last bar of the second line, the A, like that. First phrase. Next phrase. Okay, and the next phrase. And the next. Next phrase. And the last phrase. And again, you can either separate with cuts or you can use tonguing for the last D. Or, which is what I prefer to do. Okay, folks, that's the phrases. I'm going to tie them all together and play it through. And once I've done that, I'll show you a few little kind of embellishments that I like to use just to make it interesting. So here it is with the phrases. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so a few little embellishments or ornaments which I throw into this from time to time. Again, if you like them, use them. If you don't, then don't use them. There's absolutely no reason to. The tune stands up lovely on its own, and remember, the rule is whenever you're ornamenting, it should never interfere with the timing or really get in the way of the melody. It's to add to it. It's never to get in the way or detract in any way, shape, or form. It's a lovely tune. You don't want to mess it up by putting far too many ornaments in. Otherwise, it just sounds not very good. So here's what I do. Put a little trill just on that E to separate from the E to the D. And again. So a little kind of Baroque trill. And I do a little sort of run. So I'll put those together. And it sounds nice if you do a little slide up from the E to the F, just to give it a nice little lean into it. So. So that's the first phrase. Next phrase. So I'm using that. So I've used that on the A's. So let's put those together. So on the next phrase, on that F sharp, the dotted F sharp, I like to put another trill on that. So it would go like this. So all I'm doing is just trilling with my F sharp to the G finger. And again, I'm using that and then sliding up to the F sharp like we did on the first line. So and then the last phrase. So now you can add two there if you want. So let me play the second part of the A section with those additional ornamentation. So I'll put the whole of the A part with the ornaments and embellishments which I added. Okay, so for the B part, so I'll put a little cut on that F sharp in the third bar and another little F, G, F, E. It's just a little ornament there. So and then the next phrase. So like the trill I did on the dotted crotchet F sharp beginning of the second line, I'm using that again. Same, da, da, da. So trilling F sharp to G. So and then the next line. Now you can either trill that again, or you could just maybe do a slide up, so you could go. And add some vibrato. And I'm putting that little figure again. So or again, it's up to you. If you like it, use it. If you don't, then you can leave it straight. And then the last phrase. Again, that figure. And then to end, I'm going to put that trill in on that long F sharp on the last line. And again, I'm going to slide up to that G. So. And then the last phrase. So I'm putting the same embellishments. So the first one, and the second one. So. Okay, so I'm going to play the whole of the B part with those ornaments and other embellishments which we put in. Here we go. Okay, so now we've done that and we've got our ornaments and our embellishments. I'm going to play all the way through. I'll just play each section once to show you what I've done with the adding a few little twiddles here and there. So here we go. So there you have it. Lovely tune, Lord Inchiquin, composed by Turlough Carolan, the blind harper. Have a go. Try some of the ornaments out. Think about your phrasing. Think about your tonguing and your slurring. Ultimately, the music has to flow, and as long as it's in rhythm and in time, the embellishments are up to you whether you want to use them or not. It sounds great without them. I like to use them from time to time, but do beware not to overuse certain things and make it just so full of ornaments it obscures the tune. Okay, so if you found this useful in any way, shape or form, if you've enjoyed any of my videos and found them helpful, then if you could possibly subscribe, and also if you want to share them out to people who you might find or might think find useful, then that would be great if you could do that too. So I'll be doing another tune breakdown shortly, so have a go at this one and good luck with it all, and I'll see you all very soon. Okay, bye for now folks.